Hey guys, this is Austin from Casual Duelist channel, and here today I'm with one of my friends, Josh, and Josh is playing Shaddoll Trains.
Yes, this is my Shaddoll Train deck. It's pretty standard, but I think I have like a couple choices that aren't quite as common. So first off, we have Knight Express Knight.
Not Express Knight.
Fix it there. He's the main card of the deck. He's a level 10 Earth Machine, and you can normal summon him without a tribute. And if you do, his original attack becomes 0.
Okay.
So you basically use him to get all your huge rank 10 XEs out. And to help with that, you've also got Heavy Freight Train Derrick Crane. If a level 10 Earth Machine, such as Knight Express Knight, is summoned, or normal summoned, or special summoned, you can special summon from your hand. Its attack and defense are halved. And if you sent to the graveyard as a result of an XE monster's ability, you can target one card in the field and destroy it.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't really use them for their attacks anyway, they're just rank 10 spam.
Next in the train lineup is Ruffian Railcar. He's level 4 Earth Machine with 1800 attack. It's not very relevant though. When he's normal on your turn, you can inflict 500 burn to your opponent, but then you cannot attack for this turn. You don't really use that very much, but you can kill your opponent with it, so like a Gaga Cowboy. But the main thing you use with him is for the field spell, which I'll get into later. You can make him level 10, and if you sent to the graveyard at the end phase, you can search another level 10 machine. So you can go into more plays with that.
Combo wombo.
And then the Shaddoll engine. Still not exactly sure on the ratio, but I play 2 Beast. He's basically, if he goes to the graveyard with a card effect, you draw a card. And if he's flip summoned, or flip face up, you can draw 2 cards and discard 1, and the discard does count as an effect, so it will trigger other Shaddoll cards. Then I have 2 Squamata. If he's sent to the graveyard from a card effect, you can send 1 Shaddoll from your deck to the graveyard, so it's a Foolish Burial, then trigger their effect, and when he's flipped, target one monster to the field, destroy it. He's also level 4, so you can go in the rank 4 plays with him, so that's why I play 2. I play 1 Dragon. If he's flip face up, you can bounce 1 card in the field, it also targets. And if you sent to the graveyard as well with a card effect, he's an MST, so just clear out Solemn Strikes and whatnot.
Okay.
1 Hedgehog. I see a lot of people play like 2 or 3 of this. I only like playing 1 because you really need to use your normal summon on Knight Express Knight. So I just play 1 because if you send to the graveyard, you can search in there Shaddoll to your hand, which is really good for El Shaddoll Shekanaga, which I'll get into later. It's a fusion monster. Then my last Shaddoll monster is Shaddoll Falco, and he allows you to, when he's flipped, he's a tuner. I don't have any synchro monsters in this deck, but you can if you want. If he's flipped, special summon 1 Shaddoll monster from your graveyard to face on defense position, then you can flip summon it to get its effect later. And if it's sent to the graveyard, it summons itself in face down defense position. So it just really does allow you to recycle through all your monsters in your graveyard. My last 2 monsters are Max C. It's just a staple. Whenever your opponent, you can discard from your hand. Whenever your opponent special summons a monster during the turn it's played, you can draw a card. So it's just really good to stock your hand full of cards to destroy your opponent.
Heavy monster lineup.
Yep. And the most important card of the deck is Revolving Switchyard. So the first effect is when a level 10 Earth Machine is normal special summoned to your side of the field, except during the damage step. You can special summon 1 level 4 Earth Machine from your deck. It then becomes level 10, but then your opponent takes no damage for the rest of the turn. So the card to use that with is the Ruffian Railcar. It's the only level 4 machine I run in this deck. It's probably the only one you'll ever want to use. The second effect is you can pitch a card from your hand to the graveyard. Actually, no, it doesn't have to go to the graveyard. Just discard 1, so it's unaffected by Dark Law and whatnot. And you can add 1 machine type level 10 machine type monster from your deck to your hand, and you only use 1 of these effects once per turn. So you have to pick and choose which one you want to use.
So could you summon Ruffian and then do the burn since you can't do damage to your opponent? Or is it like battle damage or all damage?
It's just damage.
Oh, okay.
Right, let me double check.
Like effect damage. And...
battle damage. So yes, you could.
So you can. That's what they built that effect for.
Yeah. Except you usually don't use it because you usually just go straight into.
Yeah, you can still like run over their board.
Yeah, so you can do 500 damage that way. And then 3 terraforming, of course.
Broken.
Find the most important card in the deck. Once again, just consistency. Then the most powerful Shaddoll card, except Construct, is Shaddoll Fusion. It's just basically a basic polymerization, but if your opponent controls a monster specialist from the extra deck, you can use your deck as material. So usually the best thing to do is Rough and Railcar and any of the Shaddolls you need. For example, this. You can get like +2. It's very good. Then the one of Shaddoll Fusion is only at 1. It's a quick play, so you can swap out fusions, do some more damage, or surprise your opponent on their turn.
Nice.
Then I have 3 consistency cards. First up is Allure of Darkness. Simple. Draw 2 cards, banish Dark from your hand. If you don't, discard your hand, which you don't want to use. You don't use 1 because it's not all darks. So it's,
Yeah, just the shadows.
Yeah. Next up's our Goblin. Simple. Give your opponent 1,000 life points, you draw a card. You really want to get into your field spell with this deck. If you don't have it, your plays are pretty limited. You need your power cards. And Foolish Burial. You basically just use it to send. You can use it to send a Rough and Railcar of the Search for a train at the end of turn, or you can dump any of the Shaddolls. What I usually do is dump Shaddoll Beast, because it's basically just their upstart. Just drawing their card, just more consistency.
Pretty dope.
Next up is the power spells and traps. Soul Charge. Simple. Pay 1,000 life points for each monster you want to resurrect from your graveyard, but you cannot use your battle phase this turn. So just resurrect a bunch of huge machines and then hope to win your next turn. Instant Fusion. It's a rank 4 play. You go into a card called Elder Entity Norden.
Never heard of that one.
Lets you resurrect a level 4 lower from your graveyard. Its effect is negated. So you basically just go to level 4. Usually Rough and Railcar.
Yeah.
Because then when Rough and Railcar is discarded to the graveyard, you can use its effect once again. Next up is 1 MST. I only play 1 because I run 1 Shaddoll Dragon, which you can pitch easily. If you could play 2 if you want, but I think 1's fine since Shaddoll Dragon is basically the same thing.
You think Twin Twister would be good in this deck too?
Yeah, I'd probably run a Twin Twister if I had it. Unfortunately, don't.
Does Shaddolls activate if they
No.
pitch just because it's cost?
They do not.
They're not like
activate.
Fables or something?
Nope, that'd be really good if they did.
Would be.
Next up are some continuous traps. First up is Vanity's Emptiness. Simple. Neither player can special summon when this card's faced from the field. Sent to the graveyard. If a card is sent from your deck or field to the graveyard, it does not count Xyz's materials going to the graveyard because they are not from the field or deck. So usually the plan is just get a huge machine, flip this up, hope your opponent can't get over it.
It's pretty good.
Next is Shaddoll Core. It's not the greatest, but it allows you more fusion materials for Shaddolls. You can also recycle it with the Shaddoll fusion cards when they go to the graveyard. It's just a decent card for any Shaddoll deck.
What's its stats?
Stats.
Just like level? Is it level 4?
It's a 1450, 1950 defense, level 4.
Yeah.
But no, it's actually level 9.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
So yeah, you can't XC with it, but it's just a good wall if you really need it. Next up is Skill Drain. Pay 1,000 life points. All face-up monster effects are negated. Really good at trains because with Night Express Knight, it'll negate its effect, bringing him back to 3,000. And even if Skill Drain is destroyed, he will retain his 3,000 attack. So it just makes your guys really huge beaters while denying your opponent their effects. Next up is 2 Call the Hunteds. Pretty simple. Once you get their trains, if they die, you can resurrect them at their full power. They're huge. Just keep bringing them back and keep swinging.
Yeah, no main deck monsters have like a special summon restriction, do they?
No. Actually, Night Express Knight does, but it's only from the deck.
Oh, okay.
So you can still resurrect them from the graveyard.
Very nice.
Last trap is Solemn Warning. Just negate any summon. It's really good.
Not bad at all. On to the extra deck.
Yep. Okay, I'll start with the main XC that you'll be making with this deck. Number 81, Super Rail Cannon, Super Dora. I think I got that right. Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon, Super Dora. There we go. Okay, so basically this card is 3,200 attack, 4,000 defense. During the player's turn, you can attach a material, target 1 card in the field. Can be yours, can be your opponent's. That card is unaffected by other cards' effects except its own to the end of the turn. So you can disrupt your opponent with this, but you mainly use it to protect itself or your other cards. If you're going turn 1, usually you put it in defense because it's got 4,000. It's really hard to beat over. So just really hard to deal with. Can protect your other cards, can show up your opponent, which is great. The other rank 10 train is Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. He is at 3,000, 3,000, and you can, once per turn, you can attach 1 material to inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent's life points. So 2 activations of that is 4,000. I only play 1. Some people play 2 because you can do 4,000 1 turn. So here is the Spider combo. So first you shot out with number 35, Ravenous Tarantula. So 2 level 10s, that's what you start with. He gains power equal to the difference of you and your opponent's life points, and you can detach a material to destroy your opponent's monsters with lower attack than its attack. And so basically, if you are a huge life point deficit, you can wipe your opponent's board with that. And then you can stack the Watermelon Spider on top of it. It's essentially the same effect, except this time its power is equal to the, or defense rather, is equal to 200 times the total ranks. So if it just itself, it's gonna be a rank 11, so it'll be 2,200. So you can destroy your opponent's monsters if their defense is lower than 2,200. So that's pretty good. And then on top of that, you can stack the 7 Sins. His effect is that you can detach 1 material, banish all special summon monsters your opponent controls, but you cannot activate this effect if you rank it up on top of the Watermelon Spider. So to be careful of that. And also, if it be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can attach material from it. So it's a huge beater. It's 4,000 attack. It's hard to get rid of. And if it lives a turn, you can wipe your opponent's board. Here's the Shaddoll cards. You got Shaddoll Winda. I don't go into her much, but she's really good against decks at XC a lot because her effect is neither player can special summon more than once per turn. Against pendulum decks, it really doesn't do anything. They can just keep going with all their pendulums with one go, but they can't XC afterwards, which is decent. It also cannot be destroyed by card effects, and all Shadow monsters share the effect. If it's sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 spell or trap and include Shadow in the name to your hand.
So would that be pretty good against the mirror match? So you could just summon that and they can't XC into Dora.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good. And the next 2 Shadowls, the best one, in my opinion, Shaddoll Shekinaga. It's a level 10 Earth Machine itself, so it synergizes with the rest of the deck, especially with the field spell. And her effect is, if your opponent has a special summon monster that activates effect, you can pitch 1 Shadow monster from your hand to negate the effect and destroy the card. So it's effect negation, but usually you can just go into like a rank 10 with it. Because if you fusion summon this with the field spell out, you can get out the Rough and Real card and then do a rank 10 play. So it's a really versatile card. I really like it. The next fusion, I already showed this one, but it's Norden. Use it with instant fusion to make a rank 4 play. And the rest of my deck is, you might have guessed it, rank 4 monsters. So first you got Utopia the Lightning, or just regular Utopia, I'm sorry.
Gonna have yourself.
So yeah, you basically just use him to go to Utopia the Lightning. He can negate attacks, so you can stall with it, essentially. Next card is Utopia Prime. If you have a 3,000 life deficit from your opponent, you can pay all your life points, and then basically wipe your opponent's board and deal damage to them. So sometimes it's relevant.
Pay all but 10.
Yeah.
You don't want to kill yourself.
Yeah. The main star is Utopia the Lightning. He's a 2,500 beater, 2,000 defense, and during battle, either player's turn, during a battle step, you can attach 2 materials to make so his attack becomes 5,000. Also, your opponent cannot activate any effects while it's battling. So the point of Utopia Prime is to give it a total of 4 materials. So you can use its effect twice.
Because you have to have Utopia as a material, right, to activate that? So, yeah.
So you like do that, and then you can use that. So you can use it twice. And the last cards are just generic rank 4s. You got Castell, spin a card back to your opponent's deck, or change the battle position. Many people don't use that effect. This will be good. The Bestower prevents your opponent from utilizing their graveyard effects, which is pretty good against a lot of decks, like zombies or light swarms, if those still exist.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And that is the deck.
Is there anything else that you would want to switch or add or change?
I'm thinking about adding. Actually, there's level 10 monster I'm going to add to my deck. It is Skypile's Gundry. It is a 3,400, 3,000 defense. You can attach a material to target a card your opponent controls and destroy it. Deal 1,000 damage to them. They cannot attack for the rest of the turn. It's pretty good because you can get rid of nasty field spells or floodgates and whatnot.
Yeah.
Also, a monster called Exodius, the Ultimate Forbidden Lord, is very good. It allows you to recycle your entire graveyard back to your deck. Problem with this deck, once you run out of all your Night Express Knights, you kind of aching for plays. That allows you to restore your deck. Reutilize all your Shaddolls because those go through pretty quickly. So it's just pretty good grind card. Might not be greatest against a lot of decks, but if you're in a grindy matchup, it is great.
Okay. Well, thanks for showing off your profile. I'm expected to get my ass kicked by it more. So,
All right.
yeah.
Sounds good.
See you guys.